You talk quite a bit in your books, Dr. Rosenthal, about the spillover effects of transcendental meditation. I've heard you say many times in the lectures you've given that the thing that impresses you most about TM is not just what happens during the practice. In your books, you write much more about the spillover effect and how important that is for human development and human health, human well-being.
Transcendence can be very subtle. It can be just a sense of rest. It can be a sense of your body having been calmed down. It can be very subtle. And I think that's very important to emphasize that. So we're not looking for miracles. But strangely enough, every now and then, a sort of a miracle does happen. I know this might be very unorthodox to say, but an idea, a problem you've been working on, the pieces suddenly fall into place. A sense of inspiration about something, a new way to look at something, a new angle. These little gifts that come when you give yourself the chance to have this deep rest. So when you add all of those together, over time, they have a powerful developmental effect.
Is it something that you discovered as you were meditating, that there could be ways to quantify the growth of higher states of consciousness?
The technique or strategy that I took was not really objective, but it was more, you could call, systematic. In other words, a lot of people had talked about the growth of consciousness, and it had, to my knowledge, never been systematically examined. And that's what I tried to do with the help of Fred Travis in terms of creating a questionnaire that I administered to 607 long-term meditators. And from that, I was able to pull out things like flow, people feeling that they're more in the flow, or internal growth, or support of nature, by which I mean that the experience that the world had become more helpful and kinder. So what I did in Supermind was I presented the data from that survey of these people, of these hundreds of people, and it came out in a very nice way. There were factors that clustered out of different kinds of changes that occurred over time. And what we did find was that the longer you meditated, the more these factors grew. And the more regular your meditation was, the more movement you saw along these dimensions.